All right. Welcome everybody to the Rockaway Create podcast. This month's theme is calm. We're excited about our guest today. And I'd like to introduce Dana, my co-host today.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Dana Humphrey, chair of Rockaway Creates, and I'm just finding my last minute bio here. We have the amazing Sean and Shannon here that do so many amazing things, keeping it calm in Rockaway, and we're very excited to have them on today. So I know there's cannabis involved, there's yoga involved, there's surf lot involved. Tell us a little bit about what you're up to and how you're keeping Rockaway calm.
Sure. So as you mentioned, the surf lot is kind of a joint effort between Shannon and I and Andrew Oakley. Andrew Oakley runs Phase Coffee and Surf. So he's got the coffee and the surf and all that stuff. And then our aspect is the CBD side, which is Shannon and I have Pharm.NYC, an all organic CBD company. I specialize in pain management, sleep issues, and mood enhancement. And then we also do the wellness side, which Shannon runs with HY Wellness. So we incorporate yoga and sound meditation and more things like that into the space for the community.
And for people that don't know, how do you spell farm?
We spell it PHARM.NYC. The reason we went with that is because I am the farmer. I cultivate all of my own product and work with other local companies that have met the standards that I have in farming and production. And also because we are going up against the big pharmaceutical companies, trying to show people that there's a more natural way of taking care of their health and trying to steer them away from the over-the-counter drugs that are readily being pushed into most Americans' lives.
And we spell high, H-Y. It encompasses the meaning of high in many ways.
Yes.
I just want to bookmark that as the show unfolds, there's a lot of art, creativity, and activism on this show. And that makes me really excited because we put our guests together with a theme, but then like more themes emerged. And I just got really excited about all of that. So thanks for bringing in why you named the things that your company, your branding that you did.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for people who don't really know, like I'm a huge lover of CBD and a huge advocate, but you mentioned some health issues that people might have that CBD could help with. Could you just kind of share a little bit about that for people who are maybe like scared to try it or haven't really experimented yet?
Yeah. So first, it's important to understand the endocannabinoid system. This is a system that was not really learned about until the 90s. So a lot of us who were educated way back then, such as myself, we didn't receive that education. And it is a system in our body, and it's connected to all of our systems. And it produces endocannabinoids, which means internal cannabinoids. And sometimes our body can become deficient in these endocannabinoids, and we can get cannabinoids from other sources, such as CBD. Things like dancing and sunshine can also boost those things. But when you're really starting to deal with chronic inflammation or something that is just, ongoing, like anxiety, depression, sleep issues, CBD can help a myriad of things because it touches every system in the body. They say when our endocannabinoid system is satisfied, we are in homeostasis. And so that's why it can help so many different things like sleep, like anxiety, and then even go as far to help with cancer patients. There certainly is medicinal CBD prescribed to cancer patients. And there's a lot of research now around the brain science with CBD and how it actually helps the brain to repair itself, and now is being shown to have great results with dementia and Alzheimer's. So that's something I'm taking every day just for that piece of research and information. But so many things, and pain. We didn't even talk about pain, because pain is a huge issue for so many Americans.
Yeah, I mean, inflammation is everything. So just us being able to combat it, and the things that I put into my formulations go above and beyond most other CBD companies. So I use things like sesame oil, because that increases your absorption of CBD by 3-fold. I also use a 95% ground curcurum, which is the active compound in turmeric that fights inflammation, plus a ground ginger, which helps with the absorption bioavailability of that compound. Also helps deal with any GI issues. So, the whole package, it's not just your standard CBD, MCT oil with some essential oils, which is actually really damaging to your liver and kidneys to have essential oils processed through them. So that's why I use ground herbs instead of the oils.
Beautiful. And with your CBD, do you recommend people just put it in their mouths? I know sometimes I like to put it in like tea, or even like a bubbly seltzer or something.
With my CBD, I definitely recommend in the mouth. With the MCT and the sesame oil as the carrier oils of the tincture, both of those oils are really good for your dental health. So a real good time to be able to absorb it is just to push and pull that oil around in your teeth. It'll help take care of your teeth, help absorb the CBD, and then you swallow it down.
Yeah, that's a real pro tip that we teach a lot of our patients, is to swish the CBD in between your teeth will help it almost immediately. Just a few minutes, you'll usually feel it. So if it is someone who has something like anxiety, it's a nice trick to feel the effects a little faster.
And is that kind of similar? I'm not sure if it's similar to like oil pulling with the Ayurvedic system.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I also want to say that I use a lot of your products, and I give some to my dog. You have a product for my dog. Yeah, I was like short. I bought it somewhere else, and he won't take it. But yours, he just delightfully receives. It's really kind of interesting, and I have my mom on it. Like, I love your stuff, and
all mammals have an endocannabinoid system. So even your little doggy there, we're connecting all his systems with that endocannabinoid system.
It's amazing. And how did I met you on the beach. You were doing yoga. It was yin yoga on the beach, and it was a beautiful day. How did you get to Rockaway, or how long have you been here?
So surfing brought me to Rockaway. I grew up in Florida, always loved the ocean and the beach and surfing. And I've been living in New York City for a while and always commuting from Brooklyn to Rockaway. And then about 6 years ago, I decided to make it permanent and have never looked back. We bought a house here in Rockaway recently. We absolutely love living here. It's just a wonderful group and community of people around you. Great place for your families. We're lucky to live here.
Yeah, I got here 3 years ago. When Shannon and I started dating, she kind of introduced me to the new Rockaway. I was coming to Rockaway back in 2004 when people weren't hanging out on the beach. It was just literally like rocks on the beach. It was not people coming to the beach in Rockaway when I was coming here, but I grew up in Iowa, so being able to go somewhere and go stare at the ocean to me was fascinating. So I really, while working in Manhattan as a chef, those would be my days off coming to Rockaway just to stare at the ocean. And then meeting Shannon and coming in, and she was living down in the 60s, and meeting that community of surfers down there, the people that live there, the people that work there, the people that commute in from Brooklyn to surf that area. I just instantly fell in love. Met Shane on that beach at that yoga. I think a bird pooped on you. A bird pooped on you at that yoga. So,
good luck.
Yeah, it was. It was a really great omen. And yeah, I had a store in Williamsburg, and when we signed the lease at the surf lot, I was like, I'm closing the store. I'm done driving. Like, I want to be here all the time.
Yay, congrats on your big move, both of you, to Rockaway and your business. That's super exciting.
And your house.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So what are some of your favorite places to go out to eat in Rockaway?
Oh, jeez. That's
Well,
always a topic of discussion.
We love Bates's.
We really love Bates's.
Yeah.
They have a lot of good healthy options. I know it's like they do have a lot of unhealthy options, but they do actually have like some good salads, some good seafood. They really cook well at Bates's.
Yeah. And we always enjoyed the Cradle. And it was unfortunate to see them go. But we love them so much that they now have a semi-permanent residency at the Surf Lot. They are serving up every Sunday a couple of dishes from their menu as they try to find their new place. So we're really excited to help them too.
Yeah, so this Sunday I'll have cannabis yoga at the Surf Lot at 4:20, and then Cradle will be serving food all day. And we also have sound healing, which is something I started incorporating into the yoga classes about, I don't know, a year or two ago. And then I recently met a sound healer who's just so talented. And she has these beautiful crystal bowls. She sings along sometimes. She's going to be there this Sunday doing the sound healing. And, our yoga high is short for hybrid yoga. That's why it's HY, but we just love the word high. Yeah. Can't get away from God highest. There's so many great ways to think of high, but we combined the cannabis with the yoga to achieve this very deep state of relaxation, which can be extremely therapeutic if you approach it in a right way. So when we're teaching students, it's important that we're moving slowly the whole time. So we're not activating any stress within our body, because sometimes in yoga you can be like, okay, next pose, and move around real fast. So there's a lot of intention to how I frame the class within the yin yoga. And then the yin works with the cannabis. You can use CBD. Some people might use another compound, but it's all options. But yin is similar in that these long holds help send signals to your brain to repair what needs to be repaired. And CBD also in turn does a very similar thing. So it really works together beautifully. And then now we found with adding that addition of the sound healing, it is just the most healing experience. I have so many students that come and, they're crying beforehand, and, they're just completely elevated and ready to take on the world afterwards. It's just such a shift you can see when we're working on this level.
I'm a yoga teacher as well, so I definitely want to ask you more about the yin, but just for a moment, bringing it back to the food. For people who don't know, the Cradle is Nigerian food, right?
Yes, correct. And he does traditional Nigerian dishes. He started off on the boardwalk down in the 60s. That's how we first met him. And, we've been able to watch his progression over the years. They're an amazing family, super humble, so kind. Like, they're just all in all, inside and out, beautiful people. And we really are just happy to have them as our friends over there at the Surf Lot. And we also enjoy the other rotations of food that we bring to the Surf Lot. So a goal of ours is to bring more options to Rockaway. It's hard to have a restaurant in Rockaway because a lot of people have kitchens and they cook for themselves at home. It's not like Manhattan or Brooklyn where there's a need to be out and eating. So to have something that can be a new fare, a new flavor in the area every week is a goal that we're really trying to fill. And so like this Saturday we have Buna Cafe, Ethiopian restaurant in Bushwick that's coming down to pop up. So we're gonna have some amazing Ethiopian food there on Saturday. So we're definitely always trying to find a whole round of events. So if somebody comes to me and they say, "Oh, I have a music or a performance piece I would like to do," oh, well, do you have food that would go with that? Do you have somebody in mind that you would like to pair with that? And so it's trying to really get a lot of the community to pull in together to be bringing a full-on immersive experience to the Surf Lab.
And if in case people haven't seen it, like, it's a vibe. So I want everyone to like picture what it looks like. I've sold my treasures there. Like, it's an outdoor space and there's some indoor shopping going on, but tell us a little bit about the concept, because I think when you explained it, Sean, to me, it was like something very new, the collaborative process of it.
Mm.
And it really ties in nicely with Rockaway and how we're supportive of each other and how we're like, we win, everybody wins, versus like, this is my lot, here's what I'm showing.
Right.
And P.S., I'd love for you to bring Indian food, just in case you want to.
I was wondering if you were going to say that.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Okay.
If you have any recommendations, put me in touch.
Please.
Okay, definitely. But yeah, tell us about the vibe and your vision.
Yeah, I had actually had looked at the space previously to getting into it, but as a solo entrepreneur, it was a lot. It was a lot of room and a lot of overhead for me to just wrap my head around. And so I kind of was like, eh. And then Andrew came and found me through a mutual friend, and we both kind of shared the same vision of we want to make a space that is supported by the community for the community. So he's an awesome cafe. His coffee is so good. He has an art about it. He's dedicated to the craft. He's an amazing musician. So his musical knowledge and the vibe that he tries to put in the space with music is amazing. And then he was, he's a surfer. So he's really connected within that community. I'm just getting into surfing. So he definitely has been able to really lead the front on that. But with all the wellness stuff that I'm experienced in, with the ice baths, the heat therapy through sauna, the CBD application for massage and just for pain in general, and my ability to build and create and make things happen, we were just really trying to find a place that people just felt at home. Like you walk in and it's not pretentious. We're all just here to have a conversation and respect one another, and just have a good time. And just, we want people to feel comfortable there. And we're working on getting a retractable awning for the whole open space in the middle so that it can be more of we plan on being there year round. We want to make it a little bit more rain resistant.
Amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
this weekend has a lot of amazing things happening in Rockaway. We have the Poseidon's Parade on Saturday at 1:00, followed by the Junction after party. And so great news that people can stop by Surf Lot in between and get some food with the pop-up that's happening. Yeah. And then if people want to come to your offering on Sunday at 4:20, can they just show up or do they have to register?
Yeah, I mean, they can certainly register on Eventbrite. The link's in our bio on Instagram, on Pharm and Highwell. Instagram, we're at Pharm.NYC. And then High is at My Highwell. So you could certainly reserve there, but we're so spontaneous. Please just come on by if you just want to stop by. I also want to plug, we have a cacao ceremony on Friday. It's by donation, and it's with a woman who I've worked with for a very long time, and I've had some really amazing results in my life with her and the cacao plant. It really can be a vehicle for intention setting and moving forward in life. Mm-hmm. So that's on Friday at 6.
And then after that, we have a friend of ours that's going to be doing a performative piece of music and spoken word. He's part of the surfboard tribe down in 67. They are a lot of Dominican surfers that come up during the season, do work at the tribe and do surf lessons. So I've known him for a couple of years, got a lesson from him last year, and he's going to be doing a performance after that. So it's going to be a really great weekend, all in all.
Amazing.
With the yin, is it like, bring your own joint situation, or how does that work?
No. No, we take care of you the minute you walk through that door. Yeah. You've got mats, blankets, blocks. We put down these beautiful cushy rugs, so it's a real relaxing experience. And so everything is included. We use pain salve also within the class, so we put that on our muscles where we might have pain, and that helps us get a little more into the poses without focusing on what's so tight. So all of that is included. Any dosing that you choose, whatever part of the cannabis plant you want to dose with, we do have organic options included in the price.
So amazing. I need to make it to this yin sometime. Can you tell us just a little bit about your yoga journey and how you came to be like teaching yin and how that came to be?
I started teaching yoga almost 22 years ago. Originally, I was a teacher of prenatal and postnatal and focusing on fertility for women's health. And that was a really big focus of mine for a long time. And then I started using CBD for my own health journey to address things like anxiety and pain. And I just started to meet other practitioners who were using CBD in different ways and with yoga. And from there, I got certified in Ganja yoga, which there's the history of yoga and how you can therapeutically use cannabis with your students. And this is something I continue to receive education on, and I'm certainly moving more towards psychedelic research as well. So stay tuned for those classes. But I've never seen such a response in students when they come to my class. I've taught many different forms of yoga over time. But yin was always something I felt made such an impact on people's lives because it actually is quite simple, but yet it's so difficult. Mm-hmm. And it's this real paradox. And you can see your mind and your body make great change through this practice of long holds. And, I have yoga teachers come to my classes and they're like, I've never done that yoga pose before. I can't believe it. And, just to feel people's reactions of how they can get into this heightened, deepened relaxation state. It's just so wonderful to be able to guide people through that.
That's amazing.
It is.
I love that.
Yeah, it's so, I remember, and also what happens, I mean, you've spoken to it already, but I'll just reiterate the beautiful, like people don't want to leave, it's just this really nice little space of like, oh, you just feel lots of love.
It really connects everyone together, like no other yoga class I've been to. We all talk and become friends.
That's the thing with the cannabis plant itself is I've been in the industry for eight years now, and I've met so many different people from all different walks of life, ideations, religious backgrounds, sexual orientations, you name it. Like it runs very broad, the people I've met. And it's honestly the plant that unites the people and brings a sense of calm and just like openness to have an honest dialogue.
And gratitude. They call it the gratitude plant, that it just naturally activates gratitude within us.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, speaking of calm, we want to welcome our other guest, beautiful Victoria Barber, who's been waiting patiently. Every month we have a different theme. And so for September, we're celebrating calm in Rockaway. And Victoria is the outreach specialist for the Peninsula Adult Learning Center at the Queens Library. So welcome, Victoria. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And so, we thought it was a good fit, yin and calm and cannabis and books and learning. And it's very calm vibes at the library, too, I'm sure. Not always.
Yeah, it's calm. And, I love it's calm, but also because we're the Adult Learning Center, we're a little more raucous on our side because we have students and we have students who are learning a new language and or they're studying to get their GED. So, we can get a little loud over here, but to me, it is a really great place to be because I get to interact with the students as well as the community at large, because my supervisor is really happy to bring people in to do community engagement with our students, especially our new students from other countries. Rockaway is a really great place, And there's a lot of great things for them to do and experience as they're learning, English. And so, I'm kind of one student used to call me the first lady because it's just where my desk is, so I'm the first person that, is like,
they see.
can you help me? Well, yeah, the bathrooms are there, but because I'm there, friends drop by, other community members drop by. We've done great things like with Neva. We hosted her Pomodoro, what do you call it? Co-working group. We've had self-care book clubs. We've had art workshops, classes, there's a small community of local artists that drop by the library on Wednesdays and we make art. So yeah, that's
nice.
That's the library.
I want to share, I went to, I don't remember, there was something else happening and then I ended up we were painting shelves or something on the other side. And then I came in to, it was like a demonstration or I don't know what it was. Everyone was presenting some art piece from their own culture.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was so beautiful. I ended up crying. There was a woman from the Ukraine and she did her dance. And then a grandfather and his grandson, they did their dance from India. And it was so touching. And there was so much beauty created in this random little space in Rockaway. And I felt so lucky to be there to be with it. I mean, I love the library, but
that was a very magical day. And that was the 50th anniversary of Peninsula Library.
Oh, yes.
So we were celebrating that. And the original library used to be across the street at the ice cream shop.
Oh,
Mara's.
That was right. And so anyway, this is our 50th year. And our teacher, Faina, who teaches the ESOL classes, she's from Russia. And she is a taskmaster. And she gets those students working, but they also are so happy and giving to share themselves. I mean, they're adults and they have a lot of self-advocacy. They've got themselves to this country and they want to share who they are. And it's really special working with this community in that way. Yeah. It was beautiful.
And how did you get involved with the library?
How? Okay. So my partner Jane grew up here, and she's still friends with some of the women she grew up with, and one of them is also named Jane, and her mother Pearl was a volunteer here and ended up working for the library and worked into like her 80s, maybe even early 90s in the Adult Learning Center. And Jane said, why don't you go over to the library and talk to my Barbara, who runs the Adult Learning Center, about volunteering? You'd be great there. And so I went in to speak with Barbara, and I brought her a little copy of a book called Wow Rockaway, a photo book that I had taken a bunch of photos after Hurricane Sandy. I wasn't living here. I was living in the Florida Keys, but we had come up because Jane grew up here. Her whole family's here. We came to help her mother, the family. And it was cold. Nobody had heat. So when we weren't working and the day was over, I'm like, the sun's still out. I'm going for a walk. And I just took hundreds of photos. And so the family said, oh, Vic, you gotta, when you come back at Christmas, bring your photos. We really want to see them. We're too busy. We can't focus on that. So I put together a little album for them for Christmas. It was Apple, it was a template, it came in a nice little, book. I made a book So I brought the book with me and I showed it to Barbara, and she was like, "This is great, blah, blah, blah." And then she said, "Yeah, sure, you can volunteer." And then I just said, "Are there any positions, you know?" And she said, "Oh, yes, we need an outreach specialist. You're perfect." So I got hired.
Amazing.
That's how I got involved with the library.
So do you plan on staying there till your 80s or 90s as well?
It's, you know, what are you going to do? No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you know, I need a little stimulation. I don't need a lot of stimulation, but I need connection. You know, I don't, like Jane, my partner, would like to go live on 40 acres, all, you know, and I'm like, I don't know. I would be so bored, even though I love bird sounds and I love nature, but I mean, like, I would be like antsy. So, yeah.
So I would love to hear some of your passion about your art, like your printmaking and things that you like to play with.
Well, yeah, I got really, so anyway, I had been like, when digital photography first started, like, oh, that's really exciting. It's so easy to make images. It's so easy to get feedback. It's so much easier to get better at doing it. But then it's like everybody has a camera now. You know, it's so easy to do photography. And so I got asked to be on the board of the Rockaway Artist Alliance back in 2015. And they had a new project that they wanted to bring into fruition, which was the printmaking studio. And I was working with Chris John and a couple people, and Esther Grillo. And everybody, you know, everybody was a volunteer. So everybody had different time or energy to make it happen. But it's like, I wanted to learn how to be a printmaker. I had taken a printmaking class in college, and it was like interesting, but unless you have you know, all the equipment, not everybody can have all that equipment in their home. So I helped establish it, and I love the community of making art. So to me, I discovered I wasn't a lone artist, you know, and because I didn't like being alone making art. I like creating a community. That's more what I'm passionate about. So it can be anything.
Yeah.
You know, like I go to Sketch Rockaway because, you know, not so much because I need to sketch, but it's like, oh, we're all sketching, you know.
For people who don't know, can you tell us a little bit more about Sketch Rockaway?
A little bit more about Sketch Rockaway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the two women, friends of mine, Norma Allende and Chris George, during the pandemic, or as things were loosening up and, you know, there weren't community spaces to go and make art, they decided, let's just go somewhere and sketch. And so usually in the nicer months, like once or twice a month, they'll pick a location in Rockaway. Last week we were at the new nature preserve at the new building. We've gone to the marinas. We've gone to Fort Tilden.
One time you guys were strolling down my block. I was like, what's this?
Yeah, we did your block.
I thought it was a parade. It had a little sign, and I was like, what are you guys doing? And then it was you. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, that was really great. So yeah, we just go sit somewhere and sketch.
Maybe you could go on the road to the surf lot.
Well, yeah, I'm sure we could. But let me say two things.
Yeah.
When about the surf lot, because I saw you get excited. So, when last fall, when it was the moon lot, we did a sketch there.
Oh, okay.
And I know the other group, Alex and Paul, do have been going over there to sketch. And I've gone to a couple of the sessions at, one was at the Rockaway Hotel Gallery, and the other one at on 205 or 210 across the street. But I
Yeah.
haven't come to the surf lot. Like Monday nights are hard for me. I'm like, I'm not ready to go out on a Monday night unless, I might though. I'll come. I'll come.
It's always a good time, and feel free to bring your group in too.
I think Norma has come.
She has.
Have you met Norma?
Yes, Norma came through and she showed me she actually showed me the sketch of the moonlot that they did last year.
Yeah.
And also, I want to put out there a deep thanks to Fawn and Bang of the moonlot, because without all the work that they did last year to that space, Andrew and I would not have been able to open up as quickly and be as successful as we have been, because they put so much of their own money and time into the infrastructure of that space to make it really easy for us. So I just wanted to show a little praise to them.
Yeah.
That gratitude, that plant medicine gratitude.
Yes.
We had
a lot of people, we put up that treasure box in our Facebook group of people that want to do things, just to put it out there. And there were several people who wanted to make art together. So that's 2 places, just for people who are listening. Victoria is a part of Sketch Rockaway, and Monday nights,
The Order Vision
has their art evening, either there or down the block. But it's available. Like when you request something in Rockaway, you really can get everything you want.
You can get it.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like I've been noticing this summer a lot more art has popped up on the streets of Rockaway.
Yes.
So there's a guy who did like a wooden, like a scrap wood mural in a way on the corner of our lot next to the brick building. And then I've seen like 4 other places around town that have his art there. So what's the hotel at the end of the boardwalk uptown? The Del Mar.
The Del Mar, it's there, yes.
Yeah, he put it on the doors there.
Right.
Yeah, and there's another place not too far away from the surf lot. So, and then the new mural that went up across from Alex's mural. Like, there's a lot of good art that's just popping up. So there's definitely a need for art, and it's good that we have places that people can have that platform and experience to share.
Victoria, I know we have the library event coming up on September 22nd, the Community Resource Fair. Rockaway Creates is happy to be participating. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and maybe any other upcoming things you have that you'd like to share with people?
The resource fair is the 22nd outside the library here. We're going to have tents set up, and our program is grant funded, so we have to like jump through hoops and provide different things for the funding. And so this resource fair is it's not a typical job fair where we're going to have a lot of employers here, but we are going to have, for instance, Workforce One. They're kind of a little bit of a placement agency. So they have clients that are looking for employees, and they do the initial screening. They have lots of jobs. America Works is another group that's coming, and they're help people who are, on getting social services and getting money, but to find them also employment. That's their goal. Is we're going to have some schools, LaGuardia, CUNY, and our career fair, and just some of our local community not-for-profits are coming.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Like you.
Yeah, we'll give out some stickers and have a good time. Since you mentioned the Moonlight, we had one of our meetings there last year, and we'd love to have one coming up at the surf lot. So we'll definitely talk to you about that for Rockaway Creates. And I know Shane's been working on an author panel event that we might be doing at the library. So hopefully there's a way for everybody to get a chance to see all these spaces and participate and join in whatever way that you want to.
Yeah, and I want to say, you know, what I remember every time when we do these podcasts, you know, it can be intimidating to show up, like, you know, that idea of like, oh, everybody belongs, I don't belong. But as soon as you walk in the library and I see you, Victoria, there's always something happening. No matter what mood I'm in, I'm like, oh, I feel so alone, but I want to go connect. There's always something I can show up to. And same at the surf flat, like there's always somebody talking. Like whenever I've been at the surf flat, it's like there's education going on. Like when I hear you talk about CBD, I'm like, wow. And especially around, I didn't know you were a chef. And last time I heard you speaking, I was like, wow, that's like heavy duty stuff that people really need to hear about. And hearing about it from a chef's perspective, you know, and the recipes of it, it's just like you just go learn. So I think beyond calm, there's a lot of learning going on here. And I really want to encourage people to just show up. You don't even have to know why you're going. One time at your place, I met this amazing tailor. He's like, I'll make whatever you want. And he made a book bag out of wood. He can make gowns. I mean, basically, if you think of it, he'll make it. It's not like he only works with cloth.
No.
So like be open for the surprise of showing up at these two locations or with these people and to just be like, oh, I had no idea what was going on. And I think what Rockaway does in a very sneaky, fun way is not really advertise everything that's happening. So it really encourages you to go speak to people or just smile and trust that they're going to tell you what the next thing to do is in your life.
For sure.
It's so true.
Yeah.
I also think like a community library, you know, the library does, you know, advertise and promote some programming.
Yes.
But I also think there's room and space for the community to really provide programming and specific to our community, you know. There's a meeting room here that not-for-profits can use as long as you're providing something that's free and open to everyone. You can, you know, talk to the head librarian. Maybe you have to fill out a form to become a provider. The Adult Learning Center, we have a little bit more leeway about what we can provide or showcase or put together. In fact, I'm kind of tasked with something this semester to do maybe weekly workshops with other community groups.
Ooh.
So if you have an idea or a thought or the initial thing was, well, let's do wellness or let's do, which is great. Yes. You know, but it's volunteer or it's, you know, you know, you're not going to be paid for these things, unfortunately. But
you know, I just want to bookmark for a second. I'll interrupt.
Yeah.
Remember, it's like we can get paid in different ways. So if you need a video of yourself teaching, if you need feedback, if you're trying a new workshop and you're like, I don't know if I should get paid for it yet, this is a great way to get that experience. Feel what you're feeling and be like, oh, I want to tweak it. Like there's always people that will show up and have the experience and give feedback. So I really want to encourage people. And if you need it, if somebody creative needs a nonprofit, come speak to us. And then we can, like, it's really a fun idea that there's a space and there's people and you don't have to charge, which a lot of times in my coaching world, people get afraid to do things because they're like, I'm not ready yet to get paid. It's like, well, so I want to really just open the space up for that. So I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah. So if you have an idea, if you have or somebody listening, right, maybe it's like, oh, I would really like to, you know, teach a meditation class, but I have never done, you know, or yes, talk to me. We can make something happen.
Yes.
Before we close, Vic, I want to make sure we ask you what some of your favorite restaurants are in Rockaway, because we love to share insider secrets on what everybody likes to go eat and enjoy.
Well, I would say Batsy's too. That was one of the first restaurants during the pandemic. We would like make our order, drive down from 132nd Street right at 7 o'clock when all the, the pots and pans. So yeah, that's become a favorite. I love Super Burrito.
Oh my God, yes.
I love their burrito. I have to have it with beef and problemos both. It's got to be slathered with everything. And there's many good restaurants depending on your mood, but
All right, I have one last question. I want to jam it in. What do you do in the winter here? Like, what do you personally do?
Me?
Yeah. Well, it's all answer.
Oh, well, I bike. I mean, I have an electric bike, so it makes it easier, but I'm 68, so I'm riding my bike and I feel like I'm 9 instead of 68. And I pedal. Nice. But I ride it all winter long. I ride it to work every day. And even on the weekends, I'll take a ride through Fort Tilden, or now there's a new spot, the new nature preserve, Arvern East. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do in the winter.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, this is my first winter working on the island, like, not having to commute, which I love. I just love not having to drive off. So we are planning on being open year round as long as we possibly can. So that is one of the things, and the surf is always best in the winter, and so I'm definitely going to be going out a lot more this winter since I don't have to commute and I'll have time to surf. I got introduced last winter for New Year into dipping. So I was dipping with the New York City Dippers, and then moved uptown and continued to do it by myself. And that's one of the main reasons I was super excited about the surf lot. It was like, I can get an ice bath and I can do it all the time and I can have people I was so excited to buy an ice machine. I was like, this is so cool. So I'm super excited about just building a community at the surf lot this winter, because a lot of people do hibernate and they get super antsy and they get super depressed. And so we're really going to try to keep people coming out, all the locals, to come and just see what the heck's going on at the surf lot.
Beautiful.
Awesome. It's so funny. Both of you said Bates's. I love that. I think it's restaurants in Rockaway too. And I don't eat meat, and it's a barbecue place, and they have like such good options.
Yeah.
They do have some vegan, vegetarian more.
Yeah.
And they were bold. They opened up during the pandemic.
Right.
They're always busy. They're always thriving, and they own another place, Pico on 129. Also, really good food.
It's good.
Yeah, and family, like, they're always there. Like I think they're brothers, right? Yeah, they're always there. Like, it's just like they know you. They're always welcoming. Like, it's the kind of, like, I like going there because that's the kind of business that I want to have too.
Yeah, you guys are always there. It's true.
Yeah, and so it's just like it's like some people like, that's your competition or this is your competition. It's like, no. We are all in this together in Rockaway. Yeah. Like, we've got to stick together. You can't just go to that place because they do the same thing as you. Like, I love going to all the other places so I can tell them, this is what we're doing. And I'm still going to come here to your place because you're doing something that we're not necessarily doing, but we're definitely doing something that you're not doing. So, come on.
I love it.
But we need an Indian restaurant.
Yeah.
That's true. Give us an Indian pop-up.
It's like, I love Indian food, but to drive 50 minutes or an hour to get to Indian food. Yeah.
Okay.
In Long Beach.
Send me your suggestions and I'll start reading.
Okay, good. I think every podcast episode it comes up.
It does?
Usually it's a reoccurring theme.
Yes, it is. Well, we're coming to the end of the hour here, so we just want to thank both of you, or all of you, so much for being on this podcast today and talking about keeping Rockaway calm. And for those of you who are watching and listening, we have a couple of events coming up this Thursday night. September 14th is our plant swap at 6:30.
Oh, yeah.
And we also have a fall equinox sunrise meditation on Saturday, September 23rd. So that'll be at sunrise at Sal's house. Both events are free. So we hope to see you all out there. And we're also putting out a little teaser for our gala. Shane, you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, we have a winter gala happening. So save the date. It's January 20th. And it's at the new space on 129th, Jade Space. And we're working on it being a winter wonderland theme. So we're going to have costumes and all kinds of like honoring the artists and creatives and businesses and nonprofits in our area. So we have a creative meeting set up to play with that, but we're excited. It's our first gala. We've had events before for the winter, but this one feels like sparkly and new. So stay tuned for that.
That's awesome.
We're very jazzed to be sticking around this winter and having all these amazing things, whether it's at the library or the surf lot, to be able to do and stay connected and keep the community alive. So thank you to all, what everyone's doing to really create events, create connection, and help Rockaway thrive.
Awesome. Where is that plant swap at?
Yeah.
It's at Carolyn's house. It's a big hot pink house on the corner of 69th. And all the information is on our website, rockawaykreates.org. If you click on the events tab, the address will be there. It's on the
Yes, and if you want to come and like share about plants, love it.
All right, so I'm going to be completely honest here. I can grow vegetables, I can grow cannabis, but I struggle with houseplants.
Oh, me too. Me too. But we're going to swap plants. So if you have a cutting of something you want to get, or if you want to share, and then also I forget her name right now, but she's going to bring little ceramic pots.
Yes.
To sell for $5. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, and we'll also, I think Casey from Poseidon Parade will also be there giving out some free costumes for people who want some inspiration for what to wear for Saturday.
Nice.
So lots happening.
Yeah, the summer ain't over, and even when it is, we're still very busy.
It's true.
Amazing. All right, everybody. It's always hard to leave because we're like in love with everything.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, thank you all for coming, and we'll post all of your links and stuff and which library, be below our posting of this, and if you'd share it too. And we want to just invite everybody who's watching to show up wherever you live. Sometimes we get comments from people all around the world because they're like dreaming of the summer here. So this goes far and beyond. All right, Dana, thanks for showing up with me. This is always fun to do this together.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you all. Bye.